I'm sure you all did too. The thing is, they never, ever loved me back. And that's not my quote, that's Dr. Douglas Graham, so he's a big influence on me. I just think it's brilliant, because it's so true. None of those foods loved me back. They tasted so good, but there's a reason that they tasted so good, and it's because there's these things called food scientists and flavor chemists. Who's heard of that before? Yeah, who has that job title? Does anybody here have that job title?
How do they sleep at night?
I was thinking the same thing. How do they sleep? How do they sleep at night? These people are doctoring the chemicals in foods like the ones we all mentioned today, our favorite childhood foods, and making them taste extra intense, extra flavorful, so that they stimulate your nervous system and they make you want to come back for more. They trigger chemicals in your brain to make you say, I need more of that. But you know what the funny thing is? They don't actually satiate you. Did you notice after eating those kinds of foods, you were like, I just really need something sweet. I really need a piece of cake or ice cream. I know I did. Yeah, and that's because we weren't actually satiating our cells. Our cells need fuel from sugar, from fruit, yeah? But we were getting it from this stuff that wasn't even food to begin with, so it wasn't actually nourishing us. And so, I mean, these flavor chemists, these food scientists, God, what a job title. I mean, could you imagine them showing up to a birthday party and somebody being like, hey, what do you do for a living, Ted? Well, I'm a food scientist. Wow, cool, what does that entail? Well, I change the state of certain chemicals in foods, and I make them super addictive to keep people coming back for more. And I don't want to brag, but it's basically the leading cause of obesity and a whole myriad of diseases and stuff, you know, but I don't want to lay out my whole resume for you. Like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I just think it's funny. So anyways, about me now. So I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when I was 24 years old. And up until that time, I was living a pretty standard Canadian diet. So kind of like what everybody's talking about, I ate those foods too. I ate all the foods that my parents thought were good for me as well. Like bread, pasta, meat, dairy, eggs, yogurt cups, you know, those little pudding cups, right? Who likes those? Who used to like those? Yeah, I had those every day for lunch. You know what I used to do? I used to like try to show off to my friends, and I would take my cold cuts, my salami, I would put it in the pudding, and I would eat it. But that's besides the point. So I grew up like that. So as I was growing up as a teenager and things like that, I had acne, I had horrible menstrual pain. It's like, it's totally normal, just take some drugs. Here, Adrianna, take some menstrual drugs. Shut up about it, don't worry. It's normal. My doctor told me it was normal. Acne. You're just a teenager, it's normal. Headaches, colds, flus, intermittently, totally normal, right? So they want you to think. So I took all these drugs, right? Took all of the childhood jabberoonies. Totally fine. Then one day, around 20 years old, I think, I was working at this job, I was a waitress, and I would look down like this. Pretty normal human thing to do is look down, yeah? But I would feel this tingle down my spine. This is really trying to tingle down my spine. I thought, okay, it's just today, I'm tired, I don't know. But it persisted. I went to go see a doctor eventually, like anybody else would, and my doctor said, I don't know, you probably pulled something. Okay, every doctor I went to told me, like, this is probably nothing. You don't have MS. I was like, I don't even know what that is, but okay. And then finally, it just kept on persisting until one day I woke up and the entire like right side of my body, my right arm and my right leg were totally heavy like sandbags. I couldn't move them. So I went to the hospital. Again, the doctors were like, we did some tests, but it's nothing to worry about. Go home. I said, okay. I'm going to live my life the same way I was before. So I did. But the symptoms persisted. Things were just weird. Okay, the sandbag thing went away, it faded, so I thought, well, he was probably right, probably nothing. But eventually, I got a new doctor. And this new doctor was like, we should probably get an MRI scan done. Who's had an MRI scan? Yeah, you know how fun that is, right? It's like you're going on a rocket ship that's sideways. It's pretty cool. it's basically like being inside of a tube. So I got this MRI scan done. Come out of it. A few weeks later, my doctor calls me up, and I go to see her, and she says, unfortunately, the results line up with multiple sclerosis. Congratulations, I shouldn't say that, but what I do remember her saying though is, I know this probably seems really unfair, and I was totally blank. Like, I didn't feel scared or anything, I was just like, kind of saw this coming. I don't know what this is, but I kind of saw it coming. And everything she said until the very end of whatever she said, I didn't hear. But then I asked her just to leave me alone for a bit. I said, I just need some time alone. So she left, and I just burst into tears, naturally. I was so I needed to let go of all this emotion. I guess I was scared, sad, annoyed, pissed off. Eventually though, in about a minute, I stopped crying, and I just had this whoosh of inspiration come over me. It was like this rush of God energy came over me, and I just knew. I said to the white wall in front of me, I said, I'm going to heal myself. I'm going to be okay. And it wasn't like the type of thing you say, like, I hope I'm going to heal myself. It wasn't like that. It wasn't hope. It was no. I knew I was going to heal myself. Absolutely knew it. And in fact, I walked out of the doctor's office, kind of excited. I'm like, oh, how am I going to do this? Which is nuts. I know. I don't know what brain cell was missing for me as a child, but I was excited about it. It felt like I knew it was going to happen. It was inevitable. So I walked out of the doctor's office, I tell my parents, they're freaked out. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm going to heal. And they were like, okay, yeah, great. So go ahead. So I was vegan already. I thought, well, that's perfect. I'm vegan. I'm going to heal myself because I'm vegan. I'm going to use the mind over body. Who's heard of the mind-body connection before? Yeah, awesome. Who practices mind-body connection techniques like meditation? Okay, yeah. I know, we all wish we did more, right? Yeah. It's actually really fantastic. So I was doing all of that. I was being vegan, but it was a very unhealthy vegan diet. Processed vegan junk foods. Who has tried a Beyond Meat burger before? They're tasty, aren't they? They're really good. They kind of taste like meat, but they're just not exactly healthy for you. So I went along doing this for about 5-6 years, and I didn't really have any crazy symptoms. I had fatigue. I was tired all the time, but it doesn't matter, right? Until one day, 2020 rolled around. Yes, there was a pandemic. But I had my own pandemic, except it wasn't a plan. I woke up one morning, super insidious. The bottoms of my feet were tingling, kind of numb. I was like, okay, that'll pass, hopefully. Didn't pass. Days went on. It was like Monday, bottoms of my feet tingling. Tuesday, up to my shins, the whole thing, tingling, numb, couldn't feel them, barely feel them. And then slowly over the course of the week, it spread up. It was so scary. Oh my God! Like one morning, I woke up, it was up to here. I couldn't feel anything in my pelvic area, and I was like, this is bad. What is going on? And then it just persisted. It was in my fingertips the next day. Then all of a sudden, I felt twitches in my face. Super scary stuff, especially when you think there's no answer, or you think you were already doing everything correctly, and then all of a sudden, it's like everything just blows up in your face. You can't feel anything. Terrifying. Has anybody in here ever had numbness anywhere before? Yeah. So scary, right? Oh my gosh, you just think it's never going to come back. It's so weird, and then once you start feeling things again, it's like a miracle. So I knew I had to change something, obviously. I realized I was humbled. Everything I was doing was not exactly correct for me to heal my body, or for my body to heal itself. So I thought, okay, I gotta look at diet. So I started looking at this woman named Pam Berta, I think her name was. She healed herself from multiple sclerosis, which was super cool. But she did it on a paleo diet. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this the vegan version because I'm vegan. So I started doing vegan keto. Who's tried vegan keto before? Yeah, a disaster for me at least. Probably for most people. How was it for you back there?
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah, okay, disastrous, right?
Yeah.
Horrible. Like the worst diet. Who created
I
that?
did both. You know, and then you can eat on it.
Oh man, yeah, it's a tough diet. You're basically, your body's in survival mode the whole time. So I did that. Everything got worse. I lost a ton of weight. I was 99 pounds. I'm 5'7". That's not a good. It's not a good plan. And then I obviously had to change. So I started getting into medical medium a little bit. Who knows medical medium? Fruits and vegetables and celery juice guy. Plus herbs. Super cool. Like, but also cooked foods. So that was my gateway drug to like healthy eating. So I got more fruits and vegetables, and over time I started getting better. Just a little bit. I couldn't give up my coffee though. Couldn't give up alcohol. I couldn't give up vegan takeout. I wasn't ready for that yet. So for me, this was a slow transition without realizing it. I didn't know raw foods existed. I didn't know the raw food diet existed. But I was making my way there, slowly but surely. And then eventually one day I was like, I'm quitting coffee, and I'm not drinking alcohol anymore. And I stopped that. Oh my gosh, the day after not drinking coffee, not living apart, right? Yeah, it's basically. I got hit by a truck, it felt like. But it was over soon. Had a massive bronchial release, I was coughing up all of this phlegm, it was disgusting. I knew you guys were about to have breakfast. Hopefully we're not having that banana pudding because that's what it looked like. Sorry. Anyway, so coughed all that up. And I'm eating just fruits and vegetables, some cooked, yeah? And I was like, wow, I'm doing so much better. Until one day, I'm on YouTube. Who else likes YouTube? Just that many. Okay, fun. And I found this guy named Eli Martyr. Who knows Eli Martyr? Yeah, he's a Canadian dude. He does eat melons. He's a Free Melon Society guy. Yeah, fruitarian. And he and I are good friends now. We met at the UK Fruit Festival twice now. I call him my best pal. I just love the guy. He has this video out called The Curious Case of a Fruit-Eating Man. And it's basically about him and his life becoming a fruitarian. And to me, it just, oh my goodness, the way he explained it made so much sense. So I thought, wow, I need to keep digging. And then I eventually found this woman named Rebecca Rosenberg. She healed herself with fruits, a fruitarian diet from multiple sclerosis. So I was like, okay, something's up here. I need to look into this more. I remembered I had Doug's book, The 80-10-10 Diet, on my Audible. So I re-listened to it, and then I read the book, and then I read it again, and it's like, this is the answer. What am I doing with my life? So I went raw, probably the next day. I think I had some sweet potatoes or something left over, so I cooked them up, ate them ceremoniously. Okay, these are my last cooked foods ever. And then I was raw. And I think that was October 22nd, 2022. And now it's been almost 3 years. It's not a super long time, but I'm like, yes, it's been